When you're a business owner, your goals are pretty much your business plan. Otherwise, it's just a dream. So today, I'm going to give you some key tips on how to write down your goals and achieve them successfully. So get them out of your head and onto paper and into reality. My name is Milena Gakesa, and I'm the author of the book, The Art of Soft Selling, and I help small business owners with their online marketing. I help them find leads, convert them into paying clients, and overall grow their business and make more money. So if you're interested in learning free tips, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a future episode. All right, let's dive in. Now, before we get into how goal setting will work for you, I just want to tell you my personal story of what it did for me. So when I was in my early 20s, I became a member of a program called Monthly Mentor. And what we did was we met once a month, but we set our goals and we set them into 3 different stages, which I'm going to teach you about a little bit later. But what really worked about these goals is that we wrote them in a way that it was so achievable. And then because we met once a month and we got to score our goals and we had other people around us that were also setting similar goals, it really gave us that accountability. So at the time, I went from working at a retail store into owning my own photography studio in less than a year. That's right, I had a full-time photography studio in less than a year. I think it took about 6 months to really kick it off. But I'm telling you, if it wasn't for that, I probably would still have been working at that retail store for a really long time. So that is the power of goal setting. Also, a really interesting and funny side note, I actually set a goal to book 20 weddings in my first year in business. So I had a little board up in my room, and every time I would book a wedding, I put a little thumbtack on it. And by the end of the year, guess how many weddings I booked? Exactly 20. Yeah. And then I thought, I really should have gone for 25 to 30. But when you do set those goals, let me tell you, you will hit exactly what you want. So always aim a little bit high, which I will get into in a little bit later. But it was just so interesting to me that I literally hit exactly the number that I set out for myself. All right, let's set some goals. All right, so tip number 1 is be very specific. So for example, if you want to grow your Instagram account, you're not going to necessarily write down as a goal, grow Instagram account, right? You're not going to even necessarily say, get more followers, because that's not really specific. So therefore, it can't really be measurable, right? So at the end of the month, if you say, I want to get more followers, and let's say you got 2-3 followers, it's like, yeah, okay, you got followers, but really, was that your goal to get 3 followers? Maybe your goal was more likely to get 100 followers or 1,000 followers, okay? So be very, very specific with your goals, so that way when you look back, you can say, yes, I achieved this, or no, I did not achieve this. And instead of actually saying, I want more followers, say, I'm going to post 3 times per week. Which brings me to tip number 2, which is make sure that your goals are actions instead of results. So for example, I wouldn't recommend that you say, I want to get 1,000 Instagram followers at the end of the month, okay? Instead, say what you are going to do, okay? Because the thing is, at the end of the day, you don't really have 100% control over how many people end up following you. However, you can think of the goals with the result in mind. So for example, if you do want to set your goal to be 1,000 followers within the month, instead of actually saying that specific number, think, what do I have to do in order to gain those 1,000 followers? Okay, and then write out all the actions of what you have to do, how many times you have to post, if you have to use certain hashtags, if you need to spend money on Instagram ads, whatever you think that it would take in order to achieve that goal, write that down. And if you're not sure where to start, you can always search online. There's so much useful information on how to achieve that specific thing. There's a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm going to be posting some as well. But there's a lot of other great YouTubers out there that are actually telling you how they got 1,000 subscribers in the month. So you can just start by following what it is that they did. However, Sometimes you'll find that if you're setting the monthly goals, you'll look back in a week and you'll say, okay, where am I? Okay, maybe I only got 50 followers. So what do I have to do next week to like amp up my game? So you can always kind of redo things, reassess the situation. So don't be stuck to, oh, I only have to do these specific actions for the entire month. You can always reassess and replan, but start with some type of action. But what I don't want you to do is be stressed out about those 1,000 followers, because let's say you hit 900. You might be feeling bad because you're like, well, I didn't hit my goal. But so what? You got 900 new followers, which is a big deal. But you can really feel confident and proud of yourself when you know that you took those actions to grow your account. I hope that makes sense. So what goals are you setting? I'm really curious. Can you type that in the comments below just so I know? Tip number 3 is make your goals achievable. Now, I'm not saying don't aim high, but what I am saying is it's so important just for your own self-confidence and for you not to quit is to make sure that you are actually able to attain the goals that you set. So what I would say is make them a little bit higher than what you kind of think you can do. And I'll go into a little strategy a little bit later on. But again, just keep in mind that you do want to set realistic goals. Because if your goals are not realistic and you don't achieve them, it will make you want to quit. And little progress and small progress and slow progress is better than no progress. I see that too often where people just set these crazy goals. They go at it hard, they burn out, and then they just completely quit. But slow and steady wins the race. Remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, that applies to business as well. Tip number 4 is set them in sections. So for each goal, what you want to do is write down the minimum goal that you want to achieve. So something that you know you can count on yourself for. It's not going to be hard. You know that no matter what, you're going to be able to achieve that. Second, you want to set what's called a target goal, which is basically what you're actually aiming for. So if I take example of the Instagram followers, let's say that you actually want 1,000 followers and you want to take those actions, set those actions for that target goal. And maybe your first goal is just open the Instagram account, right? So then the second goal is going to be your main target. And then what you want to do for the third part is a stretch goal. So this is something that you're not sure if you can achieve or not, but heck, why not? Just aim for it. So maybe it's 1,200 or 1,400, or you're going to post on Instagram every single day. Okay, so just something along those lines so that you're kind of not sure, but you're going to put it down anyways. Now, the thing is, what you want to do is score yourself. So for the minimum, you're going to give yourself 1 point. For the target, you're going to give yourself 2 points. And for the really stretch goal, you're going to give yourself 3 points. So that way, no matter what, you get some points for the progress that you're making. Tip number 5 is set goals in different areas of your business. So not just marketing, but things like networking, organization. And a lot of people overlook organization, but it's so important because think about it. If your office isn't tidy or your taxes are not done, your brain is just going to be kind of jumbled up and stressed out. So make sure that every single week and every single month you are focusing on just getting yourself organized. Tip number 6 is make your goals visible. So make sure you put them in your wallet, by a mirror, on your home screen, on your phone's screensaver, because remember, out of sight is out of mind. So you want to remember that you need to work on those goals every single day. So make sure you put them somewhere where you're guaranteed to see them. Tip number 7 is create accountability. So do something that you are going to ensure that you are going to reach those goals. And a lot of times that involves another person. So you can use your partner, you can use a best friend. And what I recommend you do is either you could do it 2 ways. One way is you can use money. So you can tell your best friend or spouse or partner, say, this is my goal and I want to achieve it by this date. If I don't achieve this goal, I'm going to give you $50, or I'm going to give you $100, whatever you're kind of comfortable with, but something you don't necessarily want to give them, but it's going to be kind of like a little bit of a punishment for you, but a reward for them. And you want to make sure it's rewarding for them, because then they'll have an incentive to remind you if you've achieved that goal or not, because they want their money. Or if you don't want to do the money thing, you can do something like clean their house. So you can tell them, if I don't achieve this goal by this date, I will come over and clean your house. Trust me, they are going to hold you accountable. All right, let's recap. Okay, so tip number 1 is be very specific. Tip number 2 is set actions rather than results-based goals. 3 is make your goals very achievable. Tip number 4 is split them into 3 parts and give yourself points for each part that you achieve. Tip number 5 is set goals in different areas of your business life for some balance, and don't forget about those organization goals. Tip number 6 is make them visible so that you don't forget about them. Tip number 7 is create accountability. I would love to hear from you, so please leave me a comment below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future videos. Until next time, guys, bye for now.